This election, young people, especially first-time voters, can make a huge impact on the outcomes for the climate. And that's because we have a huge cohort of first-time voters coming into this election. And we do see the other biggest generation, the boomers, getting smaller and being quite outnumbered by millennials and Gen Zs who tend to vote very differently to them. Hi, I'm Lee, and I'm interested in science and climate and how we communicate to the public about these topics. So this election is being called the cost of living election, whereas our most recent one was called the climate election. But climate has a lot of impacts on cost of living, particularly when we look at energy prices and where we get our energy from. One thing to pay attention to if you care about cost of living in terms of climate change is how the major parties are framing our energy discussion. Renewable energy in Australia has been responsible for keeping our cost of our energy bills lower. So even though we're struggling with energy bills, we're actually in a better position because of the huge amount of our grid that is coming from solar and wind. One thing we do see, particularly the Liberal and National Party do, is try and cast renewable energy as part of the problem rather than part of the solution when it comes to our energy bills. So that's something to keep an eye out for and look for independent expert sources to fact check that. One of the things that gives me a lot of hope on election day here in Australia is that we have a lot of choice when it comes to who we vote for, and we also have a preferential voting system, which means that there's no such thing as a wasted vote. We can put our ideal candidate first, even if they're an independent or a smaller party, and trust that as long as we know the order of preference for the candidates we're putting up, that vote will be counted and matter.